What is going on YouTube? It is Devin the Day Trader here, and I'm going to be reviewing my trade for the day, and unfortunately this is going to suck a lot, but I took a $60 loss on the day. The markets aren't as strong as I thought they would be today. ETRM is selling off at the moment. It's got that nice gap up to $24. It ran up to 25 and then it kind of just sold off. But I was completely dead on right on my call yesterday saying that if you wanted to load up 20 shares, you definitely could have. And you would have made a decent amount of money. You would have made at least like $100 before commissions if you were to do so. But today the market is just not there. And unfortunately for me, I did end up taking a $60 loss. So that brings my $1,300 account down to $1,249. So at the peak of the account, I was up 40%, and now I'm only up about 25%. So this is the third loss in a row that I have taken, and it is becoming so demotivating because I was up 40% at the start of November. I took two losses back to back, took the account down 10%, and then I literally just didn't trade for a month because I got into that zone of being too afraid to trade. And today I finally decided to, you know what, pull the trigger. XGTI has a very nice daily chart setup. We might get a squeeze up to that $3 mark. I put the trade in, and it just did not work out for whatever reason. Maybe not enough traders saw it. Maybe too much attention was still on to ETRM. Who knows? But all I know is that I ended up taking another $60 loss. So I hope that me being up 40% in November just wasn't a luck streak. I really hope it wasn't. But let me go over the trade today on XGTI at least. So looking at the daily chart, this looks very appealing to me. As you guys can see, you have a nice uptrend. So that uptrend was looking very, very nice for me. And then you had that resistance level on about 170. So ideally, the best kind of trade for this to take, unfortunately I didn't see this yesterday because it probably would have been a pretty good win for me. But the best time to probably get in this stock was above 170. As you guys can see, you have a nice ascending wedge forming here. And then as that got squeezed tighter and tighter into that wedge, it popped off from about 170 to 220. So that was a good trade. And today, I thought we broke yesterday's high. So I thought we were going to have continuation. As you can see, we ended up opening today at 234. So let's go into the 1 minute chart in the intraday. And as you guys can see, it's not really that clean as you would expect it to be. You have support around that 212 mark, and then you have resistance around that 240, 245 mark as well. So as you guys can see right away, we opened up at 234. We squeezed up to a high of 235. We sold off. We got back up to that high, and then we opened higher at 240. And then we just completely sold off. So the ideal move for this for me was a red to green move. So I got in at around 238 was my entry point, thinking that we'd break that high of about that first 1 minute candle there, and we would end up possibly squeezing up to around that 250, 260 mark, which is about right there. So about the low of that candle right there is about 250. So that's what I thought we were going to be squeezing to. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out. Like I said, a lot of people probably weren't watching this trade simply for the fact that ETRM was still on everybody's watch list. But it had this nice uptrend going here. I think it was this candle right here. So I bought basically right at the top. So I bought right there. The next candle opened up substantially lower at 233. No, it didn't open at 233. It opened at 240. Candlestick basics, what am I talking about? So we opened at 240. We squeezed up to 245, and I'm in the trade. I'm up a little bit. I'm up like $12. And I'm like, okay, you know what? This is starting to look really good. We could get that 250, and a 250 break could lead to 260, maybe 275. This is looking promising. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just dropped down. It dropped down, got on that candlestick, rode it back up again all the way up to 242. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's just riding the trend line like I explained in yesterday's video. And then as you guys can see, crack of the trend line brought it all the way back down to that 225 mark. So I entered this 400 shares at 238, and then I stopped out 400 shares at 228 for a $40 loss, $60 after commission. So I wish this would have turned out a little bit better. Obviously, I mean, even if I did wait for it to break the high, I would have entered at around 240, 242 anyways, and I would have just gotten hammered even harder. So I never like recapping my losses because this is just, like I said, it's so demotivating to be up from 40% at my peak in November, now all the way back down to up only 24%. I mean, either way, that is still a very good number, seeing as 90% of traders lose money. So in order for me to make my account at the end of July and still be up 24%, I mean, it's really still appealing to me, but like 3 losses in a row, that can damage someone's account substantially. And I was thinking about this yesterday, is that the odds are definitely stacked up against the small account traders like myself, and I'm sure many of you guys out there as well. Because if we make so say our average wins are like 15 to 20 cents. I know for my average share size, it's about 400 shares. So 10 to 15, that's like 40 bucks all the way up to 50 bucks. That's really, really good. But then once you take away that 20 bucks for the commission fees, that's nothing. That's only $20 and $30. So not even 2 or 3% of a $1,000 account. Half of your money is going to commissions basically every 10 cent, 15 cent win that you get. And I know that that's not a really good profit loss ratio, having a 10 to 15 cent average winner and a 10-cent loss, but I'm just not that confident yet to get in these trades early because I don't have a margin account and I'm afraid of getting in the trade without complete confirmation, and sometimes that only allows me to scalp some of these trades. So as you guys know, you get that $20, like no matter what, every single trade that you take, you always get that $20 lopped off. So even if you do lose, your losers can still triple out your winners if you have a 10-cent stop. So that's the hardest thing for me about trading on a small $1,000 account, because if I have a stop loss at 10 cents, that gets hit at 400 shares, that's 40 bucks. Now if that was a winner, great, $20 winner. But if it's a loser, that's a $60 loss. If I have 3 10-cent winners on 400 shares, that's completely rejected by one 10-cent loss. And that's the most demotivating part for me, because it's like when I'm looking at these charts, who knows what they can do? They can run up 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, dollar, a point, 2 points. You just never truly know. But if they fall hard. And you got to make sure to snipe out the best possible plays. And everybody, like, we're all human here. We're not going to be right 100% of the time. And even if we are right 60, 70% of the time on a small $1,000, $2,000 account, that doesn't mean anything, because those losers will still end up outweighing your winners basically every single day of the week until you start getting in that rhythm and you can start increasing your profit loss ratio by like 20 cents win to 10-cent loss. And I just don't think I'm there yet. So honestly, I really don't feel like taking the money out of my account to study more, because I feel like that would just be kind of like giving up. And I might miss some great opportunities as a result. But I feel like one more loss, another $60 loss like that, and my account will be down to $1,180, only up 18%. And I haven't seen that mark since I started back in July. So maybe I'm just on a cold streak. I really don't know anymore. But for the last month, I've been kind of too scared to trade ever since I took those two $50 losses back to back. So today, taking that loss and actually entering a trade, I'm not that hurt about it because I broke that fear. And I know that, hey, I tried all I could. Maybe if this stock had more attention on it, it would have hit my price target, but it just didn't. So anyways, that's today's lessons for today. I hope you guys at least took something from this loss, and I want to be as open as possible to you guys so you guys can see my winners, you guys can know my losers, you guys can know when I don't trade, and I hope you really take that into consideration next time you take a trade, is that if you have a small account, commissions are definitely stacked against you, the market is stacked against you, and 90% of the time, it might not work out. But like I said in my last video, I'm in this game for the long run. I'm not here to make 20 bucks and withdraw that 20 bucks as soon as the cash settles. I'm here to grow my account, and like I said in the last video, maybe have a job off of this in the future. But as of now, I kind of just have to grind through this unless I put more money into the account, which I definitely don't feel like doing, since I feel like $1,000 is already a lot for me, seeing as I'm a college student. Anyways, guys, sad day for me, $60 loss, but I guess you live and learn. Still have $1,200 in the account, so I live to trade another day. and I hope that you guys take something important off of this video lesson. Anyways, I will see you all guys on my next video, whenever that may be. It's been Devin the Day Trader here. Thank you.